Hello, this is your April 20th to 22nd, 2022 waning Gibbous moon transits for Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius. We're using universal time coordinated and we're using tropical astrology. Now, the psychic astrology messages and lunar mansion angels and lords are as follows, and the magic that goes with it. For the 20th of April, we have lunar mansion number 21. That's in the morning, okay? Profitable for reaping and harvesting of crops or herds, going on journeys, awful for relationships, okay? Causes separation and malevolence in relationships. Now, beware the picture or statue of a man with two faces, one looking to the right and one looking to the left. One's the future and one's the past, okay? For this icon causes the annihilation of someone chosen by the magician. Okay, now from the desert of Sagittarius, the archer with lunar angel Bethnael and Lord Bectue. For the 21st of April, we have lunar mansion number 22nd, early in the morning, okay? Favorable for captives to run away, thereby escaping imprisonment. If you are a jailer that has runaway prisoners, use pictures or icons of a man wearing wings on his feet and a helmet atop his head to recapture and again incarcerate the escapees that have broken out of their captivity, similar to the figure of the Roman God Mercury. Okay, so if you're someone who has captives or is a jailer that imprisons people, if people have escaped or broken out, you use the image of a man with wings on his feet and a helmet on his head, like the Roman God Mercury, looks like that, to go ahead and find them and recapture them and incarcerate them, okay? Now, on the other hand, if you are a captive or a prisoner and want to escape from your detainment center, then subsequently find security elsewhere. So what we're saying is, if you want to escape and then subsequently go find a secure place where you're not a prisoner, okay, all the while stopping people from speaking evil of you, so you stop them like if they're falsely accusing you or something, then use the symbol of this Mercurial God, the Roman God Mercury's image, to do these things for you and ask the Lord of this mansion to do so. From the shepherd in the sign of Capricorn the Goat with lunar angel Geliel and Lord Geyel. Okay, we're going to get now to Capricorn, all right? And this is on the 22nd. We're going from Capricorn into Aquarius. Capricorn transiting through Capricorn into Aquarius, because there's two mansions that are going to be, that Luna's going to transit on the 22nd. Two mansions, one in Capricorn, one in Aquarius. So, on the 22nd of April, Luna transits two mansions of the moon. Firstly, number 23, early morning. Secondly, number 24, late night. Now, firstly, in the early morning when Luna is yet in Capricorn, receive healings of any ailments, also freedom from confinement or separation from a coupling gone sour, okay, or a divorce or something. Now, beware the picture or icon of a feline animal or a cat having the head of a canine beast or dog. So, head of a dog, body of a cat, for it causes devastation and it causes atrophy, okay, it causes atrophy. Now, indeed, the Lord of this mansion will respond to a request to plunder, pillage, ravage, and exterminate the population of a specific location when the figure of a cat sporting a dog's head is used by a sorceress or sorcerer. Understand that. Now, from the lucky one that is a swallower in the constellation of Capricorn the Goat with lunar angel Geyel and Lord Zekibin. Okay? Those are the angels and lords that will allow the magician to do these things, because what might be good for you might be bad for someone else, and what might be good for them might be bad for you. So you have to do what's best for you at all times, and you and those that you care for. Okay. Secondly, late at night, when Luna is voyaging from the tail of Capricorn to the soldier of Aquarius, married couples and military personnel will have good fortune and privilege, while the execution of governments and their policies will be blocked from moving forward. Use the picture or figure of a human mother breastfeeding her baby, okay, for this causes the swelling, growth, and fruitfulness of flocks, herds, groups, and organizations. Ask the Lord of this mansion to increase your flock while using this image of the woman suckling her infant, and he will help you. Ancients used to cut off one of the horns of a male, okay? A male sheep or a ram, that had been neutered. After washing it, then used this horn to create the icon of a woman suckling her baby in her arms. In reality, this is where the story of using an emasculated man such as Jesus the Nazarene, who was without wife or children, was said to be sacrificed so that the image of his mother breastfeeding him when he was an infant could be worn around the neck of groups of his followers, and this image will swell and multiply the church's flock. From the star of fortune in the constellation of Capricorn the Goat, from the tail of the goat to the shoulder of Aquarius, with lunar angel Bethnael and Lord Abrin. Now, important messages for this. Before, we're going to tell you some things here that we want to get into about how Hollywood uses this, okay? How Hollywood uses these kind of mansions in order to program you and have the effect of making their numbers swell. And how then you are convinced by, like, preachers and other people on the internet who tell you that looking at a picture of Tammuz and breastfeeding her infant, or Isis breastfeeding her infant, you know, that Semiramis breastfeeding Tammuz, or Isis breastfeeding her son Horus, as if that's evil. But they show you a picture of it, so their numbers swell, you stop using it, and then your numbers drop. That's how it works. They tell you it's bad, but it's actually good for you. Okay? So I'm going to tell you about how Hollywood uses it on specific TV shows. One where this mansion 24 was used in Dexter. I'm going to talk about that here in a moment. But first, important resources for lunar mansion magic and transits. Lunar mansion magic, lords and angels, according to Maslama al-Madriti, the Picatrix book, and Henry Cornelius Agrippa, 3 books of occult philosophy, respectively, with lunar mansion ephemeris, according to Christopher Warnock, the mansions of the moon, a lunar zodiac for astrology and magic. Important resources. Now, understand that, again, preachers or people that are on the internet that are, like, you know, telling you that watching a woman breastfeed her child is evil, or pictures of Mother Mary and Jesus are evil, or that Semiramis from ancient Babylon breastfeeding her son Tammuz, the sun god, is evil, or that, you know, if you have Isis breastfeeding her son Horus, that's evil. The reason they tell you this is because if a fertile person wears that around their neck, but it's been made from an emasculated ram. Okay, Jesus was a Jew. He was emasculated. He didn't have children or wives, okay? He was emasculated. And so they used his image, okay? They used his death. They sacrificed him, because the Jewish faith is Aries the ram, because Yahweh, Jehovah, is Yud He Vav He, and that is the astrological permutation for Aries. So that's an Aries, okay? Then they get his mother breastfeeding Jesus, or at least holding him, and they take someone who's like has been neutered like Jesus, or at least socially, you know, or if not physically, at least socially, and then they have they make an image of a woman breastfeeding or holding her child, and then they put it around the necks of people that are fertile, and then they have families, and your flock swell, and then your church swells, okay, and the number of people in your church will swell, okay. But then the preachers will tell you it's evil, and then your group will go down and their group will go up, because even though they're saying it evil, they're showing the picture, so it's causing their group to swell. So that's how it works, okay? Now, I saw a Dexter, okay, the Dexter show, season 4, episode 7. That's 47. Again, 47 comes up again. This number's been coming up a lot for me lately, but anyway, the name of that episode was called Slack Tide. So watch that, and you'll see that this mansion is put in there. You'll see how it works. In that one, they find a lady's arm, just one of her arms, in an alligator. They cut up an alligator and they find a lady's arm. That is actually one of the horns of the ram. Okay, that's what that represents. Now, then they take that image and they build upon that, just like they take the image of Jesus being crucified, and then they build on his childhood and he's breastfed by his mother and all that, and they use that and build the church, right? Okay, now, so in this same Dexter, they had two images of the mother breastfeeding her child. One image, Dexter was holding his infant son, Harrison, and he had a bottle, a formula bottle that was pointed with the nipple towards towards Harrison, the baby's mouth, and Dexter was sort of breastfeeding his child, okay? And later on in that same show, they had a picture. They went into a nightclub, and there was a picture of a topless dancer, and there was a man she was sitting in the guy's lap, and the guy sort of was breastfeeding off of this topless dancer. That's the second image from this mansion. And that arm was one of the horns broken off the ram in the beginning to use that to build this. Now, what you need to understand is that the reason this can work so well, and then you notice that Dexter becomes a very popular show. Okay? Now understand, it's a very good show. It's a very good show, very well done. But this is how it's done. And understand that if they did it exactly, you would catch on to it. Because they don't do it exactly, they sort of, they use a man breastfeeding with a bottle, or like in that show, The Pope, they had a picture of a priest with a beard breastfeeding a baby. That's still the same thing. But they use variations on a theme, like Zeus tearing the horn off of a goat on Mount Ida, and then using that for the cornucopia, that then all good things come from that. So, and they use that horn image in this, and they take the goat off of a neutered ram or male sheep instead of a goat, and then they build on that. And then that becomes the horn. But you take the horn, you wash it, and it's one that you can carve it or etch into it the right image of a woman breastfeeding her child, and that it's a neutered ram. And then you take that image and you hang it around the neck, usually of the leader of a group that's fertile, and then your group swells. And that's how it works. Now, if you tell everybody that a mother breastfeeding her child is evil, and then they stop wearing it, and you tell them to wear a cross, guess what? Their group will go down, and the one telling you it's evil but showing you the picture, their group will go up. That's how it works. And Hollywood is smart enough to know this, and they're smart enough to know things don't have to be precise, and you can use variations on a theme. And actually, if you sort of hint at it, it's even better. Okay. Stay tuned. We'll keep you up to date with more of this.